According to various estimates, Ohio usually patrols the sea region 200 by 200 nautical miles, forming maps and observing the situation in the controlled area. This service can be called quite calm. Such ships do not try to get involved in a fight, but sometimes there are funny moments. One such thing happened in 2009, when a small fishing boat was wrecked in the Caribbean. A lifeboat with 5 people ended up far from all routes, and after 4 days of drifting in the high seas, when hope was already lost, it was noticed by the crew of the USS Rhode Island submarine. Just like that, on the lifeboat, accidentally running into a nuclear missile carrier in the middle of the ocean. Pretty lucky. Ironically, the collapse of the USSR became a problem for the US nuclear submarine fleet. These ships no longer had anyone to fight. The ideas of the late 1980s to build 24 boats were discarded, plus new arrangements on the reduction of strategic offensive weaponry were supposed to limit the group of ballistic missile carriers to 14. At the same time, the Navy's own analysis of the potential showed that for nuclear deterrence they really only needed 4. And this is taking into account the fact that the first 8 boats were equipped with the already outdated Trident I missiles. Under the threat of disposal, it was decided to do serious work on them. 4 boats out of 8 have been upgraded and received the current Trident II missiles. The other 4 boats awaited more large-scale work. They have been converted into cruise missile carriers for operations that do not involve nuclear apocalypse. Out of 24 silos, 22 were equipped with 7 launchers each. As a result, the ship received 154 Tomahawk missiles or similar devices. Another 2 silos were adapted for equipment and means of carrying out special operations. Considering that they didn't count as ballistic missile carriers anymore, the limitation of 14 units was not violated. At the same time, efficiency and relatively low operating costs made Ohio the main element of the US nuclear triad. At the moment, these 14 boats account for about 2,100 warheads, or roughly 60% of the total deployed US nuclear arsenal. For 2021, the entire group of 18 submarines is still in service, even though the first of them is more than 40 years old, and all of them are quite active, being deployed on patrols lasting up to 6 months. It is assumed that Ohio-class boats will begin to be decommissioned in 2029, and a replacement is already being prepared. By the time Ohio retires, it will be replaced by new strategic ballistic missile submarines and the start of the next class, the Columbia.